the Arch Gaming Network is proud to bring you this board game review. Now here's your host, Sean Smith.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at the game Konexi, originally sold by Zimzala Games. Zimzala no longer appears to be in business. However, they are now being sold by a company called Wonderforge. It's a 2 to 4 player game, and it's a combination of a word game and a dexterity game. You're building a tower with these 3D letters and then trying to find words inside that tower. Now you want to make sure not to topple the tower and to be trying to build larger words so you can score more points. So let's take a look at the setup and the gameplay, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the other side. Okay, to set up the game, you're going to take the letters out of the bag and you're going to arrange them at random in a circle. You're then going to take this token, which kind of looks like a bell, but it's not, and you're just going to put it between any 2 letters. Give someone the score pad and the pencil to keep score. Determine who's going to go first. They'll get the die, and then you're ready to go. On your turn, you're going to take this die and you're going to roll it. It just has some random numbers and then also any letter. So the first player will roll it and then move this little bell 4 spaces clockwise. They then have to choose one of the letters from the left or the right and start the tower. Let's say they started here though. I would say, you know what? I think I will start with the letter X. It'll make a nice wide base for our tower. So I would go ahead and set it in the middle of the circle there. Then the next player will roll the die and then they would move around clockwise and then choose between the 2 letters. So let's say they ended up here, between the E and the A. That person then has to decide which letter, of course, and then notch it to the next, or to the original letter. So let's say they choose the letter A. All right, and you can see on these letters they have sockets, I call them notches, and plugs, which are here and here, here, and then you have your sockets here and here. You have to connect this letter to the tower. There's only 1 letter, so you're going to have to find a way to connect it to the X. There are a couple of rules for placement. First of all, you can only use 1 hand. Second, the letter that you place cannot touch the table. It has to be up. And third, you can't just rest it on another letter. And doing something like this is not considered notched. You have to have the plugs going into the socket. So, for example, I could try to do this, but as you can see, it's touching the table, so that wouldn't count. So maybe I would do something. See, I already lost the game. So maybe I would do something like this. So now when you place a letter, if you can find a word, you can call that out and score points. So the person who played the A could say axe and get 2 points. You get 1 point for every letter in the word. And maybe the next person is choosing the M. They rolled and they get to choose the M. So, they have a few options. They could try to notch it here, but it would touch the table. So maybe this is not easy, left-handed. And they would do something like that. And then they could say that their word is Max. And they would score 3 points. Okay, so maybe the next person has, to choose between this, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to use the letter F, and I'll just, maybe I'll just place it here. And then they're going to say fax. However, that is not a valid word. The reason for that is there are a few rules regarding how to make words. So first of all, the words must be standard English words, no proper names or foreign words. And when you make a word, it must include the letter you are placing on the tower during that turn, which, it does, the F. But all the letters must be connected without any letter separating them. So we have the M separating the A and the X, so you couldn't do fax. All right. Now let's say the next person comes along and they're choosing the letter E, and they're like, well, maybe I could, let's see, maybe I'll just put this right here. And they're going to spell the word axe. Now, something to note, the letters don't have to be in order. They just, first of all, it has to include the letter you just placed, the E, and you have to be able to draw a line connecting all of them. So A, X, E, axe. I can use that as a valid word. Now, something to remember, even if you cannot make a word, you cannot pass, you have to attempt to add a letter to the tower, even if you can't make a word. So you're going to continue to add letters to this tower, looking for words, whoa, until of course it falls. Once it falls, you're going to take all the letters, put them back in the circle. The person who made the tower fall loses 3 points, and then you start again. You play until one person reaches 20, then they are declared the winner, and that is how you play Konexi. Okay, I have to admit, I like word games, but I wasn't sure how the mashing up of a word game and a dexterity game would work out. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised having that balance between having to build this tower and make these words, and then having that tension of it potentially toppling over at any moment brings excitement that normally you don't have in a word game. I really enjoyed the game. The 3D letters are good quality and have a good balance to them. The directions are only a few pages, and most of that are just illustrations of what you can and can't do. The scoring is straightforward. You get 1 point for every letter, and it's simple to teach and takes maybe 20 or 30 minutes to play. The only thing that I wish about the game is that maybe the notches and were a little bit larger, or maybe the notches and connectors were a little bit larger, because as that tower grows, it gets harder to get that letter into that notch without knocking everything over. At least I had some trouble with it. Maybe you won't. But that's just a minor issue. My wife, who normally doesn't like word games, really enjoyed this one, even if she did keep stomping me. Now, obviously, if you don't like word or dexterity games, then this probably isn't going to be the game for you. However, if you like even just one of those two types of games, you should definitely try this game out. I really enjoyed it, and I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, remember to just take a second to hit the like button and subscribe. And once again, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for visiting the Arch Gaming Network. For more great content, check us out at archgamingnetwork.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.